Oh, that's bright. This holy cow is bright. It's still bright. Is that better? Now the camera needs to come up. Can't wait. I think it works. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. What am I even doing right now? Ugh. Did you hear that? I struggle with these introductions so hard. They're completely awkward to me. I heard on the radio this week that you're not supposed to open up a video intro with, "Hey guys." And I get that. I completely get it. It's insensitive. It's impersonal. And I don't want to be that. But I don't know how to introduce, like, oh, what do you do? Here I am. That seems weird too. You guys have any suggestions for that? I'm totally open to it. My name is Jackie. I'm a makeup artist living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today, I am going to do the Babadook. I have my reference photos here of this one and this one. It's always important to have reference photos. They help a ton. Sometimes I can do things just from my head, but a lot of the times I have multiple reference photos, sometimes even 8 or more. I pull little bits and pieces from them to make it my own. You should never copy anybody. That's bad. Don't do that. So today, I think I'm going to give you like a total rundown all the way from taking out my current contacts, putting in the FX lenses, the kind of makeup I use, the airbrushes, the colors, I guess kind of everything, actual paintbrushes too. And we'll see how this works. I've not done one of my time-lapse makeup videos talking before. Maybe this will be the last one if it's bad. I think it'll be fun. We'll see what happens, and yeah, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. The first thing I'm gonna do is take out my current contacts. I have really bad vision. I have to wear contacts or glasses at all times if I want to see anything. I have my case here and some contact solution, just the solution in the case. I know it seems a little bit backwards. A lot of people have issues taking the contacts out once they get them in, but I have contacts in, so it works to take them out. So what I do is I have a mirror right here. This is my mirror. Just look at the mirror, pull your eye down just a little bit, like don't yank at it or anything. With your middle finger, lightly place your index finger on the contact and pull it down, and then squeeze. And then it just basically, it comes right out. Blind one, I know. Same thing with the other one. I don't switch hands. I am right-handed. It just works easier to do the same thing on the other eye. So pull down, touch, squeeze. So now that I've done that, I can put this case over to the side there. For whatever reason, I always start with the right eye, putting my contacts in. I feel like having a routine makes life easier. So I just took them out of the case, dumped out the excess solution. Never reuse your solution. That's nasty. You'll get eye infections, you'll get pink eye. So to put it in, index finger on my right hand. If you're left-handed, you might want to put it in your left hand. Pull down my index finger on my left hand. Put it on there, look down. Sometimes you have to blink a little too. You guys can probably see it's not actually setting very good right now. Sometimes I do that and push up a little bit. So I just pulled up on my lid a little bit too to make it set. You can see that one. Same thing for the left. Dump the entire contents of that side in my hand. Pull the contact out, dump the excess solution. Like I said, do not reuse your solution. That's super nasty. Pull down, put the contact in, and there it is. I like to use airbrushes and airbrush makeup. The airbrush I prefer is an Iwata. It's an Eclipse HP-CS. I'm just setting it here. This is one of my old compressors. It's, you know, just a portable little one. If you're just starting out, this thing's like $100, including the airbrush. Got this from European Body Art, which also makes the airbrush makeup that I'm going to use. European Body Art Endura alcohol based. I use alcohol based because it stays on better. Alcohol based makeup comes off with alcohol or wipes. And water-based makeup comes off with water, which sweat is water. And I'm not a sweaty person, but a lot of the makeup I do on people is on sweaty people. So I prefer this makeup. I'm gonna start with the white. And this isn't pure white. It's kind of speckled and grayish. I'm gonna put down a layer of white first and see what happens. A couple of things here I forgot to mention before we get started. These bottles, I don't know what their ounces are, but you know, they're about this big. And they are, I don't know if this is gonna focus, but they're $43 a bottle. So it can get to be a little bit of money. However, I buy my makeup at Norcostco. Norcostco offers discounts to those in the haunted attraction industry and makeup artists. It's a really simple process. Check out their website, it'll walk you right through it. If you have any questions, send me an email, I'll help you. I can send you the links. I'll try to put them down below if I remember. But yeah, $43 a bottle. The other thing, alcohol-based makeup should only be activated with 99% alcohol. And this is isopropyl alcohol. The one that begins with an I. So I take half of this out right away and put it in an empty bottle. So I fill the empty bottle halfway up and then fill the rest of it with the alcohol. This way you get 2 bottles out of the 1 bottle. I've realized that it's too thick to run through the airbrush just as is, and you get 2 bottles out of it. So I think that's a great plan. The reason that this one is in this bottle is just because I had an empty one, and that's another way to do it. Just save your empty bottles and then remix them. Sometimes you'll notice if you're doing white especially, it doesn't go on the way you want it to. It's just not getting white enough. How I speed that process up is using cake makeup. It's water-based. So basically I have this little cup of water here, big brush. I just dip my brush in the water and kind of rub it in there. You don't want to use too much water. It's kind of like, think about using watercolors. The more water you have, the runnier it'll be. Just kind of paint that on. You can see like how much of a difference it makes almost immediately. And yes, it is okay to mix water-based and alcohol-based. I always put a layer of alcohol-based over the water-based because it'll seal it in, which I do use a sealer if it's on for an extensive amount of time. Tonight I'm not going to use one. If I do use one, I use green marble. I'll put a picture and a link down below. Again, Norcostco is the greatest place on earth for makeup. So you see how quick that is in comparison to, you know, 2-3 minutes of airbrush makeup that I've done already. You know, they have that really good base down. Did I tell you this was Wolf? I don't remember if I said that. I know it's Wolf, which is great. Back to the airbrush. So as you can see, this is pretty white right now. It actually looks whiter on camera than what it is. Holy cow. So I'm done with the white, but there's still white in the airbrush, so I thought I'd go through real quick how to change that. I am notorious for putting too much paint in here. It's a habit I have to stop. I know it's terrible. So I just open up the white because that's what I was using. Dump what's left back in there. And that's, if you keep your airbrushes clean, this is not unsanitary. My airbrushes are cleaned before and after every use. I know it seems a little redundant to clean it before if you've just cleaned it after, but if it's been sitting even for a couple of days, like, there might be funky stuff in there. I don't want that on my face. Just grabbing some paper towels. I am going to basically kind of spoon out the cup with my fingernails in the paper towel. So it's pretty empty. Then I take my 99% alcohol, put it in that cup, the cap back on, basically just blow it out. When I'm really pressed for time and I need to see really quick if it's clean, put it on your hand and see there's no white coming out. This isn't how you clean your airbrushes, just how you clean them quickly in between colors, if that makes sense. You should always thoroughly clean them at least after. This is air that's going on your face. You want to make sure it's the cleanest that it can possibly be. Dumping out the extra alcohol again onto this paper towel, spraying the rest out. And I'm going to switch to the black. And when you mix it, you should always shake it no matter what, but especially if you mix it. Oh, I can show you an example. You can see it separates. So even if you can't see the separation happening, you should always shake it. Pour a little, I'm going to put a little bit in this time. See, I'm remembering, I'm teaching myself. Just put the cap back on. So then spray, so the color changes, and that's basically how to quick change, or how I quick change my colors. Again, that is not cleaning, that is just a change of colors. Back to it, I am going to work on the black parts here. So I think first I'm gonna focus on the eyes and the mouth. The mouth, I'm not worried about the teeth to begin with anyhow. It's gonna be like one big black blob. It will be awesome. I don't know if awesome's the word. It'll be something. On to the black. So this is where I'm sitting right now. I guess looking at both of these photos again, I'll show them to you. There's that one, and there's this one. So I've got the basic outline of the mouth, which kind of looks a little Jokerish right now, but I will widen it out a little bit more with the black, and then I always do the edges with a brush, typically a thin brush like this. It's pretty thin, maybe a little thinner. I'm gonna go back into time-lapse mode here, but makeup is basically always highlights and shadows. And if you look at this picture, I think, so the nose, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right, yeah, the nose right here is very white. The sides, and then under the cheeks, they have low points, they have shadows. So those need to go in there. I'm gonna do that with the airbrush. And also the facial structure is not like mine. So I will use black around the outlines of my face to get this, and clearly Babadook has no neck. I've never seen this movie, I know. I'm sorry, I've heard it's good. I tried once, didn't get into it. But from these photos, it looks like a giant head and no neck. So I'm gonna black out my neck and we'll keep going. So I feel like I have a pretty good outline going on here. What I'm gonna do now is work on the teeth. Some people outline the teeth and like work around it. I always feel like there's overspray. Maybe if you're just using straight brush paint, not airbrush, maybe that works better. Whatever works best for you is what you should do. So I'm gonna go back to this Wolf water-based, I think it's called cake. It's not cream, it's water activated. Like when you touch it, when it's dry, it kind of feels like a chalk. I'm just gonna go in over this black with the white, with a brush, and paint on the teeth. I can't tell you how to paint on teeth. I can't. Just practice if you don't know how. Learn, you know, the shape of teeth. They don't have to be perfect. I mean, it's the Babadook. He's not like he's great looking. It'll be fine if he has a couple crooked teeth. So being that it's white going over black, water-based makeup, it will take a few coats. So we're just gonna outline the teeth, fill them in, continue to fill them in until they're white. Now his teeth are more gray, but we will worry about that later. On to the teeth. My teeth are a little bit different than other teeth. They're totally different than the Babadook's teeth. That's okay. If you have a way of doing things, do that. That's what sets you apart. Do what you feel comfortable with. So now that I have these teeth done, I need to make these lips actually look like lips instead of just this Joker smile black thing. I'm gonna go over pretty much everything. I think I'm actually gonna bring this black up a little bit more, maybe even up to my eyebrows. My eyebrows are set kind of low, so I don't think it'd be weird to actually bring this black all the way up here, especially once we get the hat on. I think it'll be fine. So everything, I'm gonna outline everything with hard lines with a brush. And I'm gonna use this Mehron palette over here. This is the Paradise palette. It's an awesome palette. It's huge. It has all these colors. I'm gonna use the black. Don't feel overwhelmed by this palette. I got a great deal on it and bought it. You can buy all these colors separate. You don't have to buy the whole thing. And I want to say they're like 10 bucks, under 10 bucks a piece. So pretty good deal. Yeah, I'm going to use the black in here, which this is also water-based cake makeup. So we're going to get to doing these lines, and we're getting towards the end here. So I'm pretty excited. Although right now I feel I look a little bit like Momo. So I think this is pretty much it. It's still a little Momo looking to me, but that's, I guess, just how I paint smiles and teeth. I don't know, I get it's Babadook, but those teeth are not how I paint teeth. And like I told you before, never copy, always improvise. And so but basically what I did, I went over this mouth, I added in some little black lines here, some little white lines here, just to give it a little bit more dimension. I do have a hat somewhere, so I'm going to go get that hat, take some pictures. Yeah, if you have any questions, like I said, leave me a comment, send me a message. I'm happy to help. So that's that. This is another speaking video, which is horribly awkward for me, but I hope you liked it. And if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. This is gonna go on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everywhere, but if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Trying to get my following up there. I'm trying to get better at making videos. Thank you again for watching. It is greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, just let me know. And that's it for today, whenever you're watching this. I don't know if it's tonight or today, your time, but thank you. Pretty cooler hat. Oh, I think it might work though. It might work for the pictures, I think.
In a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook.
So I just took some pictures, which you will probably see before you're watching this in the video. The other question I get most often is how do you take the makeup off? This is what I use. Neutrogena makeup wipes. You can get them at Target. I buy mine at Sam's Club because I use enough of them that I need to buy them in bulk. Why must I always paint the inside of my nostrils? Gross. We'll save that for last. And the rest comes off in the shower. Oh God, I forgot about my nostrils. People don't show this part. You literally have to stick makeup wipes up your nose.